I know who you are. I know you've come from a long way from here.
Most people think The Twilight Zone was just a creepy old TV show about aliens and strange creatures. But behind the black and white shadows was a far darker story, one so controversial that an entire episode vanished from television for over 50 years. Not because of monsters, because of the truth hidden inside it. When Rod Serling created The Twilight Zone in 1959, he wasn't trying to scare people with science fiction. He was trying to expose the darkness of the real world. At the time, television networks censored almost everything. Stories about racism, war, or political corruption were constantly watered down by sponsors terrified of controversy. Serling became frustrated watching his most important scripts get butchered before they ever reached the screen. So he found a loophole. Instead of writing directly about humanity's ugliness, he disguised it with fantasy. Aliens became symbols for prejudice. Time travel became a warning about war. Monsters became reflections of ordinary people. And suddenly, The Twilight Zone became more than entertainment. It became one of the boldest shows television had ever seen. But while audiences loved the twist endings and eerie atmosphere, few realized how personal these stories were for Serling himself. During World War II, he served as a paratrooper in the Pacific and witnessed horrifying violence that haunted him for the rest of his life. Friends later said he never fully escaped those memories. And in many ways, neither did his writing. Fear, paranoia, death, they lived inside nearly every episode. As the show grew bigger, future stars like William Shatner and George Takei began appearing on the series. But behind the scenes, tensions were rising. Networks worried Serling was pushing television too far. Then came the episode that changed everything. In 1964, The Twilight Zone aired an episode called The Encounter. The story followed a World War II veteran and a Japanese-American man trapped together inside an attic with an old samurai sword. What started as a quiet conversation slowly turned into psychological warfare filled with racism, guilt, and wartime trauma. The backlash was immediate. Many viewers in Japanese-American groups were deeply offended by the episode's themes and portrayal of betrayal during Pearl Harbor. CBS panicked. Almost overnight, the network buried the episode completely. It disappeared from syndication for decades, becoming the only Twilight Zone episode effectively erased from television history. And strangely, that only made the legend darker. By the 1970s, Rod Serling himself was physically collapsing from years of stress and chain smoking. In 1975, after multiple heart attacks, he died at just 50 years old. The man who spent his career exploring fear and human darkness was suddenly gone. But The Twilight Zone never really ended, because the true horror of the series was never the aliens or supernatural twists. It was the realization that the scariest things in the world already exist inside people. Fear, hatred, greed, violence. Rod Serling understood that long before most of society did. And decades later, that's exactly why The Twilight Zone still feels terrifyingly real.